I just had an epiphany, a uh-oh moment, a serendipitous moment, and I thought I'd share, because I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it's better. My memory time hop today on Facebook was 11 years ago today. I had my son's birthday bowling party. All right, here's a little picture of it. Me and my son at our local bowling alley. And it was his birthday. His birthday was this past Friday. And so 11 years ago today, I planned a bowling party for him, birthday party. And 11 years ago today is when I just serendipitously ran into my ex-husband. Ran into him. We bumped into each other. He was there for a birthday party too. And see, the funny story about my ex-husband and I is we knew each other when we were young kids. Babies. Little babies. And there's a story behind that too. And I don't feel like going down that rabbit hole, and I'm not going to, but I've made videos about it before and he knows it. So does my dad. Anyways, that said, it's all in the past. We have moved on from it, okay? But we just so happened to run into each other, and he approached me. He started talking to me, wanted my number, and the rest is history. The rest is history. And roughly, that was in August, I started the company, that infamous company, in April or May timeframe in the same year. So I just recently started a new job about a couple months prior, 2 or 3 months prior. So not only did I start working at that company, just a couple months later, I just infamously ran into my ex-husband. And it's so crazy to look back at the last 11 years of my life to this day and see how far I've come. And I really run big on symbolic numbers, patterns, angel numbers, synchronicities, nature, all kinds of stuff speaks to me. And I know not everybody is on that realm of things, and that's okay. You don't have to be. A lot of people get lost in their day-to-day, mundane, or day-to-day activities that they don't even notice the universe moving around them. They don't even notice the waves of higher powers that exist around you in different ways, because once you connect to your higher power, you can transform and you start seeing things just completely polarly different. A lot of people walk into church to be transformed, and I respect that wholeheartedly. But truthfully, transformation starts going within yourself. And looking at the patterns of your life and taking ownership and accountability, and why your patterns continually keep going on the vicious cycles. Why the same karmic cycles, karmic people, boyfriends, ex-husbands, treatment, toxicity, work environments, why you keep on these vicious circles, right? Until you go in and do the work and start working through different things within yourself, whether it's childhood wounds, whether it's your upbringing, whether it's toxicities, whether it's depression, anxiety, whatever the case may be. I mean, there's just a polar amounts of different things, right? But you have to go in, you have to do the work, and so it was just such a big deal for me to recognize that 11 years ago today, looking back at the past 11 years of my life to where I'm at today is just, it's mind-boggling. 11 years ago, you were living a chapter you couldn't yet understand. I couldn't. I had no idea. Today, you have a perspective to recognize patterns that you don't want to carry in the future. And that's true. That's true. I recognize the patterns within my life, and I understand the part that I played in them. And the allowing the betrayals, allowing the pain, allowing the mistreatment, and you have to take accountability in that. You just do. And then you have to learn, and then you have to gain, and then you have to go into this world and teach others by the way that you walk, as well as not make the same mistakes. I told my mom yesterday, we were having a conversation about people pleasing. I grew up in a family of people pleasers. It's all I knew. My mother was raised by a people pleaser, my grandmother. And it's something that I saw, but there's a healthy balance with being a people pleaser and not being taken advantage of. And you have to take accountability if you are a people pleaser and you're constantly people pleasing people in your life, but you're not standing up for yourself. They're going to grow to expect that. And you have to take ownership in that. You do. But then, like I told her, I was like, look, it's a lonely road. It is a lonely road. When you start advocating for yourself, you start using your voice, you stop being a people pleaser to the wrong people. It's a lonely road. So you got to pick the lesser of two evils, and that you have to figure out that for yourself. You have to figure that out for yourself. It's one of those things. On my walk, it came to me. There was a song that I was listening to talking about, your heart's been broken and you don't have to be so strong. It was something along those lines. And I was like, when I was weak and I was broken, I was chastised and made fun of. I was scrutinized. I was exploited when I was weak and broken. And now that I'm strong and I'm numb to it in different ways, that's also a problem. It's also a problem for many. So it's like, danged if you do, danged if you don't. You can't make some people happy when they're just committed to misunderstanding you, committed to it, because it solidifies the narrative that they put in their head about you, which is landed on really crappy choices that they decided to take in their own free will. And they know that, and they have to live with that. And you have to give people space for that until they're ready to look in the mirror, look at you, and take accountability. Otherwise, they're just going to continue living fake mask, which is fine. Give them space for that. That might work better for them, but you can't let those things get you down. Otherwise, it'll take you down to the ground. And especially if you're a parent, your kids deserve you to be strong. They deserve you to be bold. They deserve you to be present. They deserve for you to be around, no matter what the world says in the back. No matter what the world says in the back. No matter how much the world chastises you, throws you to the gutter, makes you feel like you are less than deserving, no matter what the world does and society does and the community does and whatever, the government does, whatever, no matter what they do, if you have children, they deserve you to fight. They need you around. And if we live in a world that takes these angles and takes these tactics to take people out of this world to where they can keep their hands clean, we've got a big fight. And so maybe it's your job to fight it. Did you ever think of that? I know I have. So, anywho, fun little story for you. About 11 years, I'm going to celebrate it. Breaking a cycle. On to the next one. I hope you guys have a great day.